Peace of Westphalia, European settlements of 1648, which brought to an end the 80 Years' War between Spain and the Dutch and the German phase of the 30 Years' War. The peace was negotiated, from 1644, in the Westphalian towns of Munster and Osnabrück. The Spanish-Dutch treaty was signed on January 30, 1648. 30 Years' War, 1618–48, in European history, was a series of wars fought by various nations for various reasons, including religious, dynastic, territorial, and commercial rivalries. Its destructive campaigns and battles occurred over most of Europe, and, when it ended with the Treaty of Westphalia in 1648, the map of Europe had been irrevocably changed. The range of confessions in Germany, 1650, as a result of the 30 Years' War. The range of confessions in Germany, 1650, as a result of the 30 Years' War. Encyclopaedia Britannica Incorporated. A brief treatment of the 30 Years' War follows. Although the struggles that created it erupted some years earlier, the war is conventionally held to have begun in 1618, when the future Holy Roman Emperor Ferdinand II, in his role as King of Bohemia, attempted to impose Roman Catholic absolutism on his domains, and the Protestant nobles of both Bohemia and Austria rose up in a rebellion. Ferdinand won after a 5-year struggle. In 1625 King Christian IV of Denmark saw an opportunity to gain valuable territory in Germany to balance his earlier loss of Baltic provinces to Sweden. Christian's defeat and the Peace of Lübeck in 1629 finished Denmark as a European power, but Sweden's Gustav II Adolf, having ended a 4-year war with Poland, invaded Germany and won many German princes to his anti-Roman Catholic, anti-imperial cause. Meanwhile, the conflict widened, fueled by the political ambitions of the various powers. Poland, having been drawn in as a Baltic power coveted by Sweden, pushed its own ambitions by attacking Russia and establishing a dictatorship in Moscow under Ladislaw, Poland's future king. The Russo-Polish Peace of Polianov in 1634 ended Poland's claim to the Tsarist throne but freed Poland to resume hostilities against its Baltic archenemy, Sweden, which was now deeply embroiled in Germany. Here, in the heartland of Europe, 3 denominations vied for dominance: Roman Catholicism, Lutheranism, and Calvinism. This resulted in a Gordian tangle of alliances as princes and prelates called in foreign powers to aid them. Overall, the struggle was between the Holy Roman Empire, which was Roman Catholic and Habsburg, and a network of Protestant towns and principalities that relied on the chief anti-Catholic powers of Sweden and the United Netherlands, which had at last thrown off the yoke of Spain after a struggle lasting 80 years. A parallel struggle involved the rivalry of France with the Habsburgs of the Empire and with the Habsburgs of Spain, who had been attempting to construct a cordon of anti-French alliances. The principal battlefield for all these intermittent conflicts was the towns and principalities of Germany, which suffered severely. During the 30 Years' War, many of the contending armies were mercenaries, many of whom could not collect their pay. This threw them on the countryside for their supplies, and thus began the wolf strategy that typified this war. The armies of both sides plundered as they marched, leaving cities, towns, villages, and farms ravaged. When the contending powers finally met in the German province of Westphalia to end the bloodshed, the balance of power in Europe had been radically changed. Spain had lost not only the Netherlands but its dominant position in Western Europe. France was now the chief Western power. Sweden had control of the Baltic. The United Netherlands was recognized as an independent republic. The member states of the Holy Roman Empire were granted full sovereignty. The ancient notion of the Roman Catholic Empire of Europe, headed spiritually by a pope and temporally by an emperor, was permanently abandoned, and the essential structure of modern Europe as a community of sovereign states was established.